Hey folks, Simon here. Now, I thought I'd do something different this year. Now, if you've been watching my channel, then you'll know that I put out, I hope, quality content all about training and nutrition as part of what I've been learning over the last sort of like 20 odd years in my experience within the fitness industry and cycling and endurance, and as part of a coach. I decided that's why I would start Velo Performance as an added leg of what I already do by coaching triathletes. And obviously, I started the YouTube channel. A lot of my stuff is educational, hopefully inspiring. So you watch some of the stuff that I do and think, this guy is riding big rides and having fun with it. But I also thought maybe I should do a bit of a vlog so you guys can get to understand me and see who I am and realize that I'm normal and I make mistakes. And I just thought I would sort of like look back over January and talk about what's been going on in my world. So I think probably what I should do is make myself a cup of tea and then I'm going to come back and have a chat. Now, normally I drink coffee, but actually, you know, I've drunk quite a few of those today. So cup of tea it is. So let's start off with post-Christmas. Rather sadly, my stepfather died and I've been dealing with that, helping my mum come to terms with that and also supporting her in her understanding of how to carry on living her life and doing everyday stuff. And these are the sort of things that you don't learn until later on in life, that you have to sort of be there for your folks, you know. I'm having to teach mum how to set up direct debits and all that sort of stuff. And this has been time consuming and emotionally tough. So in December, my training took a massive hit, as you'd expect it would do. And it's only really till January that I've felt I've been able to get my feet back under the table and really start focusing on me and not worry too much about my mum. Now, why am I telling you that? Because I think, you know, that's real, that's the real life. What you see on my social networks is, you know, the fun stuff, that I'm killing it, I'm training really hard. And whereas much as that's as true as I can possibly give out, then I think it's good to talk about these things. And it's also helped me realise that I've spent way too much time working, and I'm trying to readdress that and redefine what I do within Velo to make my work-life balance way more focused, so I can have time where I really focus on my training and my coaching, and time I can focus on me and going to see friends and doing the things, more things that I want to do. I think it's good to talk about these things. Anyway, so that's what's been going on in the background, and I feel a lot more centered now. I feel really more focused, and my training's really started to ramp up. So let's talk about my training. January's been pretty consistent for me training wise. I've done 4 VO2 training sessions on the bike, which have been progressively tougher. I've been consistently hitting the gym twice a week, and my deadlift's gone from 95 kg up to 110 kg. And I've been looking at my weight. So I started off at around about 69.6, which is, it is fairly heavy for me, but then over December, I kind of like lost the focus a little bit. But now I'm back into it, and I've dropped my weight down to 68.6. Now my focus for this next month is to try and change my weight down to hit around about 67. And before I hit Mallorca, the plan is to try and get to around about 66. So I can get underneath that, I'll be happy, but I want to try and do it gradually so I've got loads of energy in training. And then volume in January has been pretty good actually. So I've hit in total 939 miles, which is a lot. Now bear in mind, with the stuff that I do with coaching, I have that flexibility to get that volume in. And I appreciate that I'm lucky to do that. And also bear in mind also that one of the things I want to do this year is get another 10,000 miles out over the year, and that'll make it 3 years running. And also I'm trying to build up my durability for riding longer. I'm definitely feeling, as I've got into my cycling more and taken myself out of racing and just focused on doing challenges, that the one thing that I love doing most for is doing big long riding events. And next year I'm planning on doing something around France, COVID willing, obviously, and you think about looking at COVID and thinking that by 2023 we'd have way more flexibility, you'd hope. But I'm thinking of doing something that will be massive over 20 days, and having this next 10,000 miles in the tank will really help me get there. So I'm actually turning into quite a bit of an endurance cyclist. I'm really rather looking forward to it. It's, really sort of sitting well with me. So yeah, my training's been really good. My whole focus this year, or this first part of the quarter, is to build my strength, get as powerful on the bike as I possibly can, because I still believe that as we get older, at the age of 51, being really strong is important. Having working on all the muscle systems and different kind of muscles that we have is really important for creating muscle quality, function, because we lose it as we get older. And this is the whole thing about what I'm teaching at Velo. And I don't really want to get into that. This is really about sort of me talking to you about what I'm up to. But I think it's really important. And this is the whole cornerstone of what I'm doing with my training, being really effective. And the other thing is I'm really enjoying it. One thing I'm really looking forward to doing is getting back on the BMC. I've been riding my winter bike, which is an old Scott 20 sort of like aluminium frame, and it's fine, but it's pretty much a winter hack, and it does its job. It gets beaten around all over the winter. That's what a winter bike's for. But getting back on this thing is gonna be so much. Every time I think about the spring, I'm like, I can't wait to get back on a good bike. And also, don't hate me too much, I'm off out to Mallorca at the end of March for pretty much 6 weeks, because I'm running a triathlon camp from the 3rd to the 10th and 10th to the 17th. I'm going to have a week out there beforehand so I can ride, and one of the things I want to do is ride around the whole island before the triathlon camp starts. That's a little goal, so my fitness should be in a good place to do that by then. And then I'm going to spend 2 and a bit weeks there before I go and do the 312. And the idea of riding really good roads, getting some decent weather, and just getting some quality training in a different environment other than Devon. And don't get me wrong, I love Devon. Devon is beautiful. And in the summer, it really delivers in its scenery and your ability to ride lots of fun places. But the winter, and with everything that's gone on since December up to this point, is like I'm really looking forward to getting away. And again, thanks to that, you see everything that's going on in the world right now, you can think to yourself, do you know what, you can get out and travel a bit more with a bit more freedom. And I think if we've got that ability, and this is a thing that really inspires you to do that, then go. Let's talk future goals. So, let's talk short term to start off with. In February, my whole thinking is with the VO2 work that I'm doing and the hill rep works, I'm now sticking back into training. So that started this month. That's the added extra that I'm putting back into my training. Then at the end of this month, going into March, I'll retest my FTP. And the idea is, with all the strength work I'm doing and all the quality training I'm doing, is try and get my FTP up by another 5 or 10 watts. Now, let's say I get up by 5 watts. Doesn't sound a lot, but I'm at 305. If I get up to 310, that gets my watts per kg to around about 4.6. which is, pretty decent for a 51-year-old, I think. And that's one goal. And then the other goal really is with my deadlift. So I want to try and get that up to around about 120 kg. If I can get a little bit higher, that's great. That's, that's taking it above where I thought I could get it to. But if I can hold on to that strength all the way through the year, that means that when I get back into winter training, that I can capitalize on it. So my whole thinking is always strength is really important as you get older. So the longer I can hold on to that throughout the year, the more I'll be effective on the bike, still hold on to my power and not lose it. So they're short-term goals with my training. Let's talk about some of the things that I'm going to be doing over the summer, which I'm really excited about. My great mate Calvin and I are going to go and do the Tour de Mont Blanc. Now, we've been waiting almost 3 years for this to happen. And again, you look at what's going on in the world with COVID, you kind of hope that maybe we'll be able to go to France and do this. So that's exciting, and we're having to keep our focus on our ride. So once a month from January, February, maybe March, we're going to catch up and ride long together. So we've done 100 together. We'll do another 100 at the end of this month. And we're potentially thinking about doing 150 together as we hit March. But I could actually be in Mallorca by then, in which case we're going to miss each other for a bit and then get back into it. But Tour de Mont Blanc is something I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a right challenge, and fingers crossed, knowing my luck though, it'll probably be horrendous weather all the way through, so it'll make it miserable. And then the other thing I'm thinking of doing is I've been speaking to my twin brother, and I know Calvin's interested in this and a couple of other of my cycling buddies. We're thinking to go and ride Mont Ventoux 2-3 times and then spend maybe 4 or 5 days in France drinking good wine and chilling out. We think that's going to be a really good end to the season. And then I've got quite a few Sportives to aim for, and if you look on my channel you can see what I'm aiming for in one of the videos that I've put out. Yeah, so the training that I'm doing at the moment is really focused on getting me around to the Mont Blanc, and we're not planning on doing that leisurely, we're planning on riding that strongly all the way around. If we can get it in between, I think we talked about it, we're aiming between 12.5 hours and 13 hours, we'd be happy with that. It's a big ask. It's 200 miles with nearly 10,000 feet of climbing. It's a lot. But you know, we're strong, we're pretty focused as cyclists with our training, we're very consistent. The other thing is we're really good mates, so we know how to support each other. And then there's one more thing that I'm really looking forward to, and that's going to be doing the ride that we're going to see if we can beat GCN, Global Cycling Network, and ride as far as we can from Devon, and we're thinking past Blackpool, but we'll video that because I think that'll be a lot of fun. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just a nice little conversation with you. It's a good way for you to understand who I am and the sort of personality I am. So I think I'll do a few more vlogs like this. And oh yeah, I'm pretty much sure the eagle-eyed of you will have seen that TARDIS in the background. Shoot me, I'm a bit of a Trekkie fan and a science fiction fan. I love that sort of stuff. And my nephew gave me that for Christmas. So, you know, it's got to be in the video, hasn't it? Anyway, look, I'm going to do more of these. If you like this video, do me a favour, will you? Subscribe to the channel. If you've liked any of the other content I put out about training or nutrition and you want to share that with your friends, I'd be really grateful for you to do that, because I am trying to grow this channel out. What I'm trying to show is specifically my twin brother, who doesn't believe it's possible. At the age of 51, well, he does, but I keep saying to him, I'm going to show him that I can grow it even bigger. At the age of 51, I'm trying to show people that if you want to start a YouTube channel, it's possible and you can grow it out, but I need your support for that. So help me out, would you? Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be back next week with a Coach's Corner. Cheers.